I have concerns, and now Michael has the same concerns.
I have concerns because you are still communicating with Michael. Your friend is...
The door slams so hard it echoes through the entire apartment, and before anyone can even react, Beran steps forward, eyes locked on Michael, jaw clenched, voice low but shaking with rage. "You think you can come here and take her from me?" That moment right there, yeah, that's when everything spiraled out of control. But before we break down what really went down in that apartment in Turkey, and trust me, it gets way crazier than you think, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because this story, it's messy, emotional, and honestly, a little scary. So here's the situation. Laura thought she was walking into a fresh start. New country, new energy, and maybe, just maybe, a real shot at love. But what she didn't expect was for her past to literally show up at her doorstep, unannounced, uninvited, and definitely unwelcome. Michael had flown all the way to Turkey, supposedly to talk things out. You know that classic line people use when they're not over you. Yeah, that one. And at first, it almost felt calm. Too calm. Like the kind of silence before a storm where everyone's pretending they're okay, but nobody actually is. Laura was caught in the middle, and you could see it on her face. That tension. That hesitation. The kind where your heart is pulling you in two completely different directions. Because on one side, there's history, memories, maybe even guilt. And on the other, there's something new, something intense, something unpredictable. And that's where Beran comes in. From the second he realized Michael was there, his entire energy shifted. You know when someone doesn't even need to raise their voice for you to feel the anger. That was Beran. He wasn't yelling at first. He didn't need to. His presence alone was enough to make the room feel smaller. And Michael, he wasn't backing down either. Now this is where things start getting uncomfortable, because you can literally feel the power struggle happening in real time. Two men, one woman, and a whole lot of unresolved emotions just sitting there, waiting to explode. Michael tries to stay calm, saying he just wants to talk. But let's be real, nobody flies across the world, just to talk. There's always more to it. And Beran knows that. Oh, he definitely knows that. He steps closer, too close, and that's when he says it. Not loudly, not dramatically, just enough for it to land like a punch. "If you don't leave, this won't end well." Yeah, that kind of threat. At this point, Laura is panicking. You can see her trying to de-escalate the situation, stepping between them, telling them both to calm down. But it's not working, because this isn't just about her anymore. This is about pride, ego, possession, and honestly, it's giving that very real, very human moment we've all either experienced or witnessed, when emotions get so intense that logic just disappears. If you've ever been in a situation where two people are fighting over you, or even just arguing in front of you, you know how helpless that feels. Like no matter what you say, it just makes things worse. And that's exactly what's happening here. Michael starts pushing back, questioning Beran, like, "Who are you to tell me anything?" And you can almost see the moment Beran snaps internally. His face tightens, his tone changes, the calm, gone. Now it's personal, now it's dangerous. And here's the thing that people online couldn't stop talking about, this didn't feel like reality TV drama anymore. It felt real, way too real. On Reddit, one fan literally said, "This is the first time I actually felt scared watching this show." And honestly, same, because there's a difference between scripted tension and genuine anger. And this was raw. Laura keeps trying to explain herself, but it's like neither of them are even listening anymore. She's talking, but they're locked in on each other. And that's when you realize, she's not in control of this situation at all. And that's terrifying. Beran starts questioning Michael's intentions, accusing him of coming there to manipulate Laura, to drag her back into something she already tried to leave. And Michael fires back, saying Beran doesn't even know the full story. And that right there, that's when things get messy. Because suddenly, it's not just about the present anymore. It's about the past. secrets, things that haven't been said out loud yet. And you can feel it building. Laura's expression changes. It's subtle, but it's there. That moment where you realize something's about to come out, something she didn't want either of them to bring up. But it's too late. Michael starts hinting at things. Not saying everything directly, but enough to plant doubt. Enough to make Beran question what he thinks he knows. And you can literally see it working. Beran pauses. Just for a second. But that second, it matters. Because now, it's not just anger driving him. It's uncertainty. And uncertainty, that's way more dangerous. Laura tries to shut it down. She tells Michael to stop, tells him this isn't the time or place. But you can tell, whatever he's about to say, it's been sitting with him for a while. And he's not leaving without saying it. Now the tension in that room. It's unbearable. You've got Beran, ready to explode. Michael, pushing buttons he knows he shouldn't. And Laura, stuck in the middle, trying to hold everything together while it's clearly falling apart. And then it happens. Michael drops just enough of the truth to shift everything. He suggests that Laura hasn't been completely honest with Beran. That there are things she hasn't told him. That maybe, just maybe, this whole situation isn't what it seems. And Beran, he turns to Laura. That look. Not anger this time. Not even frustration. Just, is that true? And that's the moment where everything changes. Because now, it's not just a fight between two men anymore. It's a confrontation. A moment of truth. Laura hesitates. And that hesitation, it says everything. Fans online lost it at this point. Instagram comments were flooded with people saying, "Why is she not answering?" And that pause is louder than any confession. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Because sometimes, what you don't say speaks way louder than what you do. Beran starts piecing things together. You can see it happening in real time. The anger comes back, but now it's mixed with something else. Betrayal. And that's a whole different level. He steps back, almost like he needs space to process it, but his eyes never leave Laura. And when he finally speaks again, it's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's worse. It's controlled. Tell me the truth. And that line, that hits hard. Because now Laura has a choice. She can either come clean, or keep trying to hold on to both sides. And this is where the story takes its biggest twist. Because what nobody expected, what nobody saw coming, was that Laura wasn't just caught between two men. She had been playing both sides. Not necessarily in a malicious way, but in that very human, very messy way where you're afraid to let go of one thing before you're sure about another. She had been keeping things from Beran. Not telling him the full extent of her connection with Michael. Maybe thinking she could slowly phase it out, avoid the confrontation, keep things simple. But nothing about this situation was simple. And now, it's all out in the open. Michael, for all his flaws, wasn't just there to win her back. He was there to expose the truth. To make sure Beran knew exactly what he was walking into. And that changes everything. Because suddenly, Beran's anger isn't just directed at Michael anymore. It's directed at Laura too. And that's when you realize, this isn't a love triangle. It's a collision. 3 people. 3 different versions of the truth. And no way to walk away without someone getting hurt. The room goes quiet again, but this time it's different. Heavier. Final. Beran looks at Laura, and you can see the shift. The realization that whatever they had, might not be what he thought it was. Michael stands there, almost like he's said what he came to say. Like he's done fighting. And Laura, she's standing in the middle of it all, with nowhere to hide. And that's where we leave things hanging. Because the real question isn't just who Laura will choose. It's whether there's anything left to choose at all. Because trust, once it's broken like that, it doesn't just come back. So now I want to hear from you, was Michael wrong for showing up and exposing everything? Or did Beran deserve to know the truth, no matter how messy it got? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you felt the tension in this one, and don't forget to subscribe, because if this situation taught us anything, it's that love, secrets, and ego They're a dangerous combination.
What do you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.